It is quite remarkable that God, if you believe in such an entity or a being, chose this guy who from a very early age set himself these ridiculously ambitious targets, overcame adversity in a way that was inspiring and inspiration for everybody else, gets heaped with more and more adversity and challenge just to test the system. And also this other part of this Greek tragedy is this lady who believes absolutely in justice, in fairness, in equality, in equity, and is also thrown into this little mix just to test both of you. I like that hypothesis.
When you put it like that.
We risk treading on Stephen Fry and Gay Byrne's territory here and being
Let's go there.
arrested for blaspheming, but of course that's why it's a nonsense, of course.
Is it though? And
Well,
why?
your God,
Also my God,
creates worms that eat the eyes of African children till they're blind, and then, I mean, you of course it feels like that. It feels like it can feel like you're being targeted, or it can feel like a curse, or it can feel like you're stuck in a story when this stuff happens.
I don't have faith.
Yeah.
And I don't not have faith. It's not something I've figured out yet. However, if I was in the Shakespearean tragedy, and I don't mean to diminish what you've gone through, but it is an incredible, it's a unique story. I would certainly have thought very, very carefully. It would have challenged me to search for, to want for God. But isn't the answer very simple, that the love that remains between ye has overcome everything else? And isn't that in itself proof that there must be something else there?
Well, our love has not overcome it, you see, and neither has any God. The reality is that it happened, and we went through it, and I'm still paralysed and blind, and Simone has gone through that experience and has to live with the consequences of that. And then as two people, we have luckily been able to find a way of having a relationship, which is not perfect like everyone else's relationship, but our love or determination or bravery or any of that stuff has not conquered this issue, because this issue remains, and there is a great desire to have an answer and for something to provide that answer. But I remember, and we took all of the prayers, the cards, the Buddhas, the nuns, everyone who sent letters, friends of friends, people who lit candles, all of that was really very warmly welcomed, because it came from a really good place, and indeed it was. Some of it was indeed comforting, but
Most.
The only constant in this whole thing is that I fell out a window and broke my back, and I'm paralysed, full stop. Now what we decide to do about it, or us being lucky enough to still have a connection in our relationship, and for that, and to have found our places in the world. But the reality is that the God that has been smiling on us has also been frowning on so many other people that we shared the word with, whose relationships broke down, who didn't get carers, whose families have struggled, who 7 out of 10 after spinal cord injury never get a job again. If God has been kind and smiling on us, why has he not been smiling on all those other people who struggle? And on that basis, not that I was religious beforehand, but I have to think, maybe it's my way of consoling myself about the whole thing, but I have to think that in fact by our combined human endeavour, we actually will have a chance of changing this narrative. The emphasis on acceptance runs contrary to everything that we're about as human beings. We would never get up in the morning if we didn't have hope.